Hi everybody, my name is Christian and I'm here with Undique. Now some tasty news from the quail farm. I hope you had a great weekend. Mine was full with a lot of different tasks here on the farm. And now we're gonna take an hour to relax and get ready for another week ahead. So thanks for joining in, and if you watch this replay, remember, right now we are live, but later when you watch it, it's a replay. So if you want to ask questions, I'm always live on Fridays and Sundays, 7 p.m. Eastern. So as I do right now. If you watch the replay, yeah, you need to contact me then differently if you have questions. But let's get started. What we have today. Now we bring to you all the good things from the farm. Just do a quick technical check. Yes, everything is running. So let's dive in. What's with the tasty news from the farm? We are a quail farm, right? Meaning we got quail eggs, and you see some here in the background already, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that. Quail are big in the news in regards to starting your own flock right now, but eggs in general are big in the news right now, right? So I want to help a little bit to educate people about quail eggs because it's a great alternative to chicken eggs. And I do have some chicken egg with me. I really don't spare any cost of bringing this live stream to you. So I went to the store and bought a chicken egg because guess what? I'm a quail farmer. I don't have any chicken myself, right? I have a lot of quail, but no chicken. But I wanted to bring this from. This is one I like to use it for when I make a half-boiled egg. I like a chicken egg, but any other than that, I use quail eggs. Now, take it out of the little holder here. Let's do a little comparison of those lovely things here, right? Standard chicken egg, and this is a standard quail egg, right? It could be a bit on the jumbo size. There is people say around 14 grams of the weight. The quail egg qualifies as a jumbo quail egg, but it gets a bit confusing there because there's a thing like jumbo quail birds as well, where the bird is bigger at a certain or heavier at a certain age. So it gets confusing. But like standard chicken egg and about a standard quail egg, right? So as you can see here, quite a size difference. And so people say you need about 3 quail eggs, and I got 3 quail eggs here to substitute for 1 chicken egg. Right, let's have a look here on the size. You see it well? Yeah. Depends on the size of your quail egg. Sometimes it could be just 2, especially if it's a double yolker. That means the egg is actually bigger than this one. Then you might only need about 2 quail eggs. Right? It's not exact science, but let's say 3 quail eggs. 1, 2, 3. Make 1 chicken egg. Now, chicken eggs are big in the news and nobody talks about quail eggs. Well, that's why I bring you this tasty news here today. And every week now in the winter time. And here we go. Now, what is the difference between a quail egg and a chicken egg if we look at, well, we looked at the size. Let's talk about nutrition, right? And I don't have chicken right now myself, so I really want to focus on the quail eggs and tell you anything I know about them. And I have some numbers written down, as you can see here behind me there. Where is it? Somewhere here behind me. The nutrition facts. And I'm going to give you some extra facts because this is just a standard label. Actually, if you click on the product below, you're going to see also more information. If you, have questions, pop them in the chat here somewhere, and I keep an eye on that here and answer your questions live. So let's see what is in a quail egg. An average quail egg, so the facts you see up here is about 9 grams, so this one is a bit bigger than that, has about 14 calories, right? Then total fat is about 1 gram, but now the good stuff already starts. Protein, 1 gram of protein. I know guys, bodybuilders who like to eat them raw. It's possible. Why not? But you know, always use caution. And the best way to prepare quail eggs in general is quail egg cutters, or I call them scissors. And we do have them in our store as well, since I have them in my hand. They look now blue to you. Sorry for that. They kind of disappear with the green screen. They are green. I'm sitting in front of the screen here. Okay, but you get the idea. You pop in the egg and you cut the tip off. I already had breakfast early on today, so I'm not gonna cut this one. This is breakfast tomorrow. So that's the easy part, how to get into it. Because the cool thing about the quail eggs is the shell is a little harder than a chicken egg. And they're smaller, so to crack them open, use the quail egg cutters. I sell them here as a pack of 3 because I always think about how can I make anybody's life easier. And the way I operate, I have like one of those sitting next to the feeding station of my dog, because Hazel, she's our chief treat tester here on the farm. She gets a fresh quail egg for breakfast and sometimes for dinner as well. And so I have one cutter laying there. Then I have one usually in my drawer where I prepare breakfast, and sometimes one is in the dishwasher. They are dishwasher safe. So it makes sense to have 3 of them around the house, especially if you own a quail farm, you know what I mean? I have a few more than just those 3 there around here. So that's how you get into the great nutritions and minerals what a quail egg provides. Let's talk a little bit more about them, right? And that's all based on science. Scientists studied quail eggs quite a lot. We actually do have some customers, some really big universities, and they do research on them. So we got some numbers. There is in there as well, in one single egg. You know, we sell them in cartons. And I didn't bring a carton today, but you see it behind me. And obviously it's well packaged, because even though they are a little harder than chicken eggs, we want to make sure they make it safe to you. So let's talk a little bit more about them. There is 5% of your daily value of vitamin A in there. About 10% of your daily value of riboflavin, 5% of folate, and 10% of selenium. Now let's talk about what do these minerals and vitamins do to your body, right? Riboflavin is known of it helps the body to break down food into energy, right? Vitamin B12 helps to maintain energy levels and helps the nervous system. As you can tell by looking this video right now, and yeah, I think I definitely have a lot of energy, and a lot of it comes from the quail eggs. Believe me, I have them every day in the morning. And the cool thing is I can dose it, right? Do I want to have 6, or do I want to have 8 or 12 of them? Depending how hungry I feel that morning. With the chicken egg, it's a bit harder to dose it exactly. Another tip, hard boil them. Great snack now, Sunday evening. You know, you're watching some TV, or you watch this live right now. You can pop in some hard-boiled quail eggs. A great way of taking in all these vitamins and minerals. With the vitamin A in there, right? That improves your immune function. And yeah, I don't want to be sick, right? Especially now in the winter time. So having an extra boost of vitamin A is definitely awesome. Vitamin D is in there. Right, what is the daily value again? I have it somewhere written down. Or no, that one I didn't write it down. Click on the product, then you can see it. That vitamin D is in there. Now in the winter time we get less sunshine, right? Even though today the time changed, so it's getting better, but still, you know, it promotes then the absorption of calcium and phosphorus in the gut, apparently, and it helps to maintain healthy bone and teeth. That's awesome. One of the reasons why I give quail eggs also to my dog is that I want that she has a beautiful fur. And I brought to you a video today, and we're gonna look at that. Should we do it now or later? Let's look at it now. Hazel and I, we went on a little Easter egg hunt today. So let me switch over and show you that. Here we go. Was it today or yesterday? Not sure. Let's check it out. So as you can see here, that's what I recorded early on. And let's have Hazel. You're coming actually live in here. Hey, my dog is coming in here. Well, want to say hi to everybody? I'm about to show you a video. She got a haircut since. Honey, come here. Yeah. Well, let's watch your video together. Sorry, she's there on the floor. I don't want to.
Hazel, are you on a little Easter egg hunt? It's a bit early for that. I'm on a quail egg hunt. Where's the quail egg?
Oh, that video is a little delayed. What did I mess up there with?
Are you shy now in front of the camera?
She's a little shy.
He's,
Yeah.
I don't pay you enough. You don't want to be a TikTok or YouTube star? No? Huh? Where's the quail egg?
Yeah, she's sometimes shy in front of the camera. As you can see here. She's a little dazzle, right, Hale? Now you show interest. Let me show. It's a mess here, but okay. Come here. Come here. Say hi. Can you say hi? Where do we have you? Here. Wanna say hi? Yeah, want an egg? Oh, look how delicate she takes it. Okay. Well, guys, I had to show you that. Sorry. Here we go again. You saw her alive. She likes it. But sometimes when I point the mobile phone and the camera on her, she's like, why are you taking pictures of me? Oh, Hazel Dazel. So, we do have quail eggs for, like a lot of the fresh quail eggs we sell are actually, customers sell them, buy them for their pets. And I don't sell all my quail eggs, as you could see. If they're not like top fresh, like that I ship it out to you customers, then Hazel gets one, like this one, right? Because you don't want to have a quail egg where I had all my hands over and the egg was on Amazon Live. So anyway, isn't it really, really cute? Okay, in these quail eggs as well, we talked about protein, and even though I have an Austrian accent, I'm not Arnold Schwarzenegger, so I'm not a bodybuilder, but protein obviously is great to help with your cell repair, hormone production, enzyme formation, all that good things. That happens if you take in a good amount of protein, as it's recommended, and those quail eggs can help you with that as well, right? Zinc is in there. That also helps to combat and prevent allergies. Speaking of allergies, right? There's people out there, they are allergic to chicken eggs. Let's bring back that little chicken egg here. Well. And obviously I'm not a nutritionist or doctor, but if you are allergic to chicken eggs, you can ask your doctor and test it out, because I know of people. One of our quail farmers in our network, actually, his wife is allergic to chicken eggs. Allergic, well, let's say it, she really reacts not well if she eats chicken eggs, okay? And that doesn't happen with the quail eggs. And that's actually why my friend, one of our farmers in Texas, got into quail eggs, because he wanted that his wife can enjoy breakfast too. So all I'm saying is check with your nutritionist, with your doctor. If you can't eat chicken eggs, you might be able to eat quail eggs, but test it out, right? Maybe test it with just one, or ask your doctor about it. But that's really, really cool. So zinc helps with preventing allergies, and I heard from a lot of customers, they order our quail eggs, especially when allergy season is going on. So something to think about, right? There is lysine in there that helps with the children's bone growth as well and development, and more, right? If you click on the product, you will find it. And we try to keep our egg prices normal, and our egg prices haven't risen much at all this year, other than to account for higher shipping cost or if the feed cost goes up. But quail seems to be literally the little kind of overlooked stepbrother of the chicken egg. Fun fact though is, if you ever wonder what was around first, the chicken or the egg, it was the quail. The quail was domesticated by us humans around 4,000 to 5,000 years ago, and the chickens, they got domesticated about 1,000 or 2,000 years later. So you got the answer now. What came first, the chicken or the egg? It was the quail, right? Now I showed you this lovely little blue quail egg holder, and this is made by myself. Well, my machine, right? I designed that thingy, and the reason why I did that is I didn't see them. Nobody sells that stuff, and sometimes I do have a quail egg where I say like, wow, you see every pattern of the quail egg is different, and the quail hen, they tend to lay similar patterns, but it's never the same. It's like a bit like a fingerprint, right? And so since we have a product in our store as well now before Easter, and I think it's nearly sold out, but we are restocking it as soon as we can. Which is hollowed quail eggs, so empty eggs, right? For crafting, so you could color it as well. If you're not happy with the natural color, you could color it with a dye, use some beetroot juice or some other things, right? And you could color it, hollow it out. And if you have a really cool quail egg, it could be a nice little decoration somewhere. Or people are into tiny cooking, right? I found the tiniest spoon I could in my kitchen. Compared to that, it's still too big. I admit, yes, it's. Let me bring that a little bit bigger up here. Here you go. You could half boil a quail egg, and depending on your attitude, speaking of like the sea level, right? Not your attitude if you're angry or happy or whatever. No, speaking of where you're at, you might have to boil it for like 2 minutes, up to 3 minutes. If you fully boil it, it's 7 minutes. And then you could cut it open and spoon it out. Okay, it takes a little while. You might have a couple of quail eggs. Hazel seems to sneak around and look for more. Yeah, you could also have more of them. But it's a great little cute egg holder. And if you are watching here and you are in the quail egg industry like I am, if you have a small farmstead somewhere, a homestead, and you produce your own quail and you sell them at the local market, what a great way to display your quail eggs. It's definitely a conversation starter. So you have the different options. This is the white version. I did one in a black version as well. And in our Undique kind of navy blue. It's hard to see with the background here. So it comes in 3 colors. The blue one might look great on a Celadon egg. Let's have a look. Let's take a quick look. Here we have a Celadon earrings. They are lovely handmade as well here in the United States. Everything you see right now is made or laid in the United States. And that kind of blue shades, I mean, yeah, here on the camera, this Celadon egg is a bit funky in regards to the color. Could be an idea. Maybe it goes better with a black one. Just imagine this is now an egg, not an earring, right? I have some eggs over there, but I didn't bring it over. Here we go. Just to give you an idea what you could do with the egg holder. And yeah, and we featured a little bit the earrings. Click on the product below, click on the store here, and you see all the good things we have here at Undique. We're really proud about our farms, right? We are right now 14 farms in the United States, and here is a little network map of where we are at. So we are from Utah down to Texas to Louisiana, Florida, Alabama, Tennessee, Georgia. I'm here in New Jersey, and then we have New York and so on. Did I miss anybody? There's a few more popping up now, as we like to expand our network to be as close as possible to our customers. Oh, that one has a little crack. Ah. That's breakfast tomorrow. Anyway, gives you a little idea what we do here. Yeah, I couldn't find them on Amazon at all. Now you can find it. I know the delivery time might be a little out right now. We get more of them in the warehouse, so they will be quicker available, but you can pre-order them now. Completely absolute new product. You are the first ones to see it, and there's more coming, but I can't tell you about them yet. Up before Easter, we're gonna bring some cool surprises to you. Now, let's talk more quail, right? You might be upset about those chicken egg prices in the supermarkets, and when I watch the news, I mean, I don't want to get into politics, but there's some interesting stuff happening, it seems like. And unfortunately, my heart goes out to those farmers who had to deal with issues with the bird flu. So biosecurity is on our farm really important. And so what we do is keep our birds safe. Whatever I do is kind of in my mind, birds first. You see this cute little chick there at the back? We're gonna watch a little video I recorded. Was it today or yesterday? Because I was just this week. I was hatching eggs again, and I want to explain you a little bit how you can hatch your own eggs too. And so we hatch basically on all of our farms right now. We're constantly hatching, right? Meaning we put an egg like that little one here in a special machine called an incubator. That machine comes in all different forms and shapes and all different price ranges. But what it does, this machine, is simple. It keeps the temperature at 99.5 Fahrenheit and it keeps the humidity. So there's usually a little water tray or something. And it keeps the humidity level as well, depending on what model of incubator you're thinking to get if you're completely new to this. We use state-of-the-art equipment, by the way. And let me show you some of that. So I have a live view here. I can check on my birds anytime I want, and here it says timeout. Don't you worry, I fixed that. I'm gonna connect now my phone, and that goes to my I have to lock it here for a second. Yeah, it gives me all the instructions. Isn't that lovely? Here we are, and I have to okay, click on this little button here and 8 times out. That's the beauty of being live, isn't it? Okay, let me try that one more time. Otherwise I show you the pre-recorded footage. Technology. I used to be an IT guy. Yeah, we fixed that another day. Sorry, I wanted to show you live what's going on, but okay, we go back to a lovely recording here, and that one is anyway a better video. That one shows you what's going on with the quail. Let's take a look.
Now, everybody happy in your new home? Yeah? Aren't you cute? Get more food soon. Get quail people. They lay eggs. These little chicks lay eggs in about 6 to 8 weeks. Not like chickens will take forever to start laying eggs.
Now, there is some action going on there, right? So those little chicks there, quail chicks, and you see they come in different color variations. Depending, there's a lot about genetics and what kind of breed it is or what type it is. Yeah, so it's a great hobby. It started for me as a hobby, now it's a farm. And you can keep just a few of them in your backyard, in your garage. You see them right there. They're in a special brooder cage, right? And those guys are really, really happy. They grow about that size, so they're easier to keep than chickens, I would say, because they also, for example, quail don't really roam free, because they would fly off, right? It's a game bird. The eggs taste. If I do a blind test, I wouldn't be able to tell the difference if it's a chicken egg or a quail egg. It's really, really hard to tell the difference. So they taste about the same. If you're thinking about keeping the birds for meat, there's less on them, and it definitely tastes different than chicken. But those little fellas pop out of the egg, as you see them here on the screen. That's the first one I ever hatched. And so the incubation period takes 18 days until you get the chick, sometimes up to 20 days. And then the chicks hatch, and then 6 to 8 weeks, these birds here start laying eggs. Standard chicken breeds, they take at least 20 weeks, some of them more, from the time they are born until they actually lay an egg. So what we're going to see this year with these crazy egg prices in the supermarket, Everybody wants to get chicken. The people like you watching this right now and do a little research, they might think, hey, hold on a second. Do I want to get chicken? Chicken are great. Nothing against chickens. But what about quail? Their lifespan, their life cycle is a bit faster than chicken. Like I just explained, right? You incubate those eggs, those hatching eggs here below on the side. You can order them from us. They come from our breeding stock, right? From 14 farms across the US. We are hatching all the time right now. Like we have out of our incubators every week a bunch of quail chicks coming out, and so we know those eggs are fertile, right? We can't guarantee that every single egg is fertile. Therefore, we don't give a hatch rate guarantee either because we don't know what equipment you use. We don't know what your experience is. We don't know if there's the eggs got a bit shaked around more in shipping than usual. So therefore, there's no hatch rate guarantee. I mean, you're not getting a guarantee from your store if you buy eggs to bake a cake, right? So why would we give a guarantee if every egg is hatching? Because we don't know what you do to it, right? I had a customer texting me after 4 days telling me, I opened the eggs, but there's no chick inside. Well, I looked at the shipping date, and the date tells me they incubated it maybe 4 days. Yeah, for sure there's no chick in the egg if you incubate it for 4 days. You didn't give it enough time to, develop it. But that's why I'm here, and many of my farm colleagues as well, where we like to educate people on it, because this year is going to be a lot of new people who want to get into this great hobby of raising your food in your backyard, right? That's what it is. They lay your lovely eggs. They're great animals. They come to me. The little chicks are very curious. They come to me when I go feeding them. The adults too. They put their heads out and check out what's going on when I enter their little hut there. Great animals to keep, but you need to know a few things about it, that you keep them well. So that's why I'm here. Let's talk about a few different color variation of quail, right? They come in a lot of colors. So let me show you. I bring up some pictures. This one's, I think I got it from Joe, from one of our farmers. Let's take a look at them. I should take some more pictures myself. I studied photography, but that's 20 years ago or more. God, getting old. Yeah, it's more than 20 years. Anyway, I don't find photography being a great hobby anymore. Anyway, thanks God, Joe sent me some pictures of the different color variations. So we see here the adult birds, and the one right there, that's a kind of a brown wild type. We call it jumbo brown. There's a thing between, I mentioned earlier on with the eggs, right? There's jumbo or standard Coturnix. We follow the ACBA, that's the American Coturnix Breeder Association. We follow their guidelines because there's not really industry standards out there other than what the ACBA came up with, which is awesome. That's why we support this organization, which is a lot of other quail farmers like we are. And they define a jumbo means a bird who is healthy at a specific age and then has a specific weight at that specific age, right? If you want to have more details, just look it up and or send me a message on Amazon. I'm happy to send you the exact details about that. But that's how we define jumbo. So we not say necessarily like with the fresh eggs, as I explained earlier on, that's a jumbo egg because the egg is like 22 grams and it's huge and whatever. Because if it's really huge, then it's probably a double yolker. And if you have two yolks in an egg and you try to hatch it out, that would give you twins. And it's not recommended to do it. While it can work, it's not recommended. Right? You don't do twins with eggs usually. Double yolkers are great fresh eating eggs, so we sell them as eating eggs. And it's great when you crack it open, right? And you see double yolk coming out. But no, we don't do that. Same as my little favorite here. And let me show you. That's a tiny, as I call it, fairy egg. All right, look at that size compared to a standard quail egg and compared to the chicken egg. So if a quail like the adult one you see in the background. We have a white one there. There is a is that a ginger or Italian? God, hard angle to tell. There's all different variations, but look at that size there. Isn't that cute? So I'm gonna break an egg for sure before this show is over. Anyway, so that little fairy eggs, that happens when the quail didn't get the memo about, hey, that's about the size I should make. This is about the where I put the speckles, right? So when there are new layers, you can get little surprises. Sometimes a soft shell egg as well. So the quail hasn't learned yet to use the calcium out of the food we feed the quail to put actually a shell around it. So it's just the membrane then, and obviously Hazel is happy when I find one of those in the egg rollouts because she gets that. And then she doesn't have to bite through a hard shell. Even though the shell is good for her too, my dog, she likes it because it's extra calcium in there. Right? So that's a white or English white. There used to be another name for it, Texas A&M or something like that. But most people call it English white, I believe. Then that looks like a golden. Yeah. Look at this color variations. And there's breeders out there. I'm not a big genetics color kind of expert, but there's breeders out there who know this really well, and they do all kind of fantastic stuff. So if you click on product below and then on the store, you see some different types. We have black quail, the white quail. There's the Italian quail, which is really nice. Here's a bunch of white ones with a little speckle in there. And yeah, all lovely color variations. They all lay eggs, at least the girls, right? And for beginners, we recommend the kind of wild type. They look a bit like that, or Egyptian pharaoh, because there you can tell by the chest of the bird. If it's little speckles, then it's female. If it's shiny like here and kind of one color, then it's a male. So you can actually tell by looking at the bird what's the gender. So it's easier for you to determine, okay, is it a boy, girl, right? As we know, only the girls lay the eggs. The quail girls, they also lay eggs if there's no rooster around. If you're wondering now about your homeowners associations or your neighbors, you don't want to have any loud roosters. Those guys here, the girls lay eggs even if the boy is not around. Think about it of like a single mother. But obviously, if you don't have a rooster around, you don't have fertile eggs. This is why you come to us. You order them here. You get a bunch of fertile eggs. We sell them by the dozen. If you order multiple dozens, it gets cheaper because with the shipping and all that good stuff, shipping cost is a big chunk, what we pay. So it's not all that money for our pockets. We farmers, we do the best we can to keep the prices low, but there is of course other costs to it as well, right? So that's the lovely fertile quail eggs. Now our fertile quail eggs we ship out, they are never older than 48 hours, right? Why are they not older than 48 hours? Because it's simple. We don't want that the hatch rate goes down, right? Science and experiments, I did them myself too, show that after around day 10, the hatch rate starts declining. So the egg is laid, 10 days later, you can still hatch them. It's not like that the egg during the transit to you in the lovely packaging we have, that hopefully none of them break. Sometimes we have about 1% breakage. Think about it. That means one order out of 100 might happen, like here. This one I dropped. I don't know if you can even see it there. Has a little dent. 1 out of 100 happens. If that happens, take pictures, send it, and we fix that. Bless you. Seems like there's somebody in my office sneaking around. Anyway, yeah, we make a good job with the packaging. We have very low breakage, but hey, if the postal worker drives over with the truck, there's not much we can do about it. So we get them safe to you, and then you can expect a hatch rate depending on your equipment, your experience, treatment in the shipping, and yes, so every once in a while it could be that there's a unfertilized egg in there. We don't have the money for the equipment to test every single egg, nor do we have the time to test that if it's fertile or not. That's why we can't guarantee a hatch rate, but what we can guarantee you is we test it ourselves. We hatch those eggs every week, and we get really high hatch rates. That's why we are still in business, right? Because we need those chicks, we need those birds, we need more eggs. We make dog treats from that too, cat toys, all that good stuff. We make sure nothing gets wasted from that lovely birds what that Mother Nature gave us, this gift that we can domesticate these birds, that we can keep them on our farms. We want to make sure they have a happy life. Some of them have one bad day. Well, all of us have one bad day in life, let's face it, right? Nothing is endless. And therefore, oh yeah, so dry hands, needed some cream here. Therefore, we make sure these birds live in state-of-the-art equipment, and when the day comes, we want to make sure nothing is getting wasted, right? So when the egg is older than 48 hours, we don't ship it to you anymore, because shipping usually takes anything from, depending where you are in the country, and if you remember our map here, where we are next to you, it can take anything from a day to a couple of days, up to 5 days. And that's fine. Excuse me, dropped something here. And that's fine, because anyway, after day 10, the hatch rate goes down. But the purpose of our network here at Undique is that we are as close as possible to you, that we have always egg availability, even if other people are sold out, or some people I hear are sold out till May or June. We list it when it's available. You can order it when it's available. You can get notified if it's on back order, and then be the first one to order it. Now, I talked a lot about hatching. Now, a little break from hatching, and let's talk about what we do when the eggs are older, right? So, let's take a look. The egg is not bad after 48 hours, right? If you keep it on your kitchen counter in the fridge, if you order fresh eggs from us, eggs last a month at least. Well, quail eggs are small, maybe you go through them a little quicker, but so after a couple of days, if we don't sell them as hatching eggs, if we don't sell them as fresh eggs, if we don't sell them as eggs for pets, we make these shakers out of it, right? We take this empty supply here, and we freeze dry the quail eggs, make sure they are safe, and then your four-legged friend, a cat or dog or a ferret or pretty much any animal, any carnivore animal, can have that as a food topper. So there is about a carton of quail eggs in there. Freeze dried, that means if you keep it closed after you open it for the first time, keep it dry, maybe out of direct sunlight, just in case. You have this available, especially for picky eater. My dog went there, that she suddenly decided when she was like 2 years old, I don't want that food anymore. That's when we came up with the product, and a little sprinkle of that on top of the standard food of your pet suddenly makes that food appear like it's out of this world, and your pet eats again. And there's only vitamins and minerals in there, as we spoke earlier on about the fresh eggs, right? And the product I have put in there below is a combination product, so you can save some money. Because and that toy here is for puppies and for cats. And normally the quail wing is being thrown away by farmers because there's barely any meat on it. It's not like a chicken wing, right? But it's such a great product to play with your pet, with your cat or with your dog, right? Thirsty today. Now, the wing on the string, which comes with the food topper in this bundle, or you can order it separately in our store, is a natural quail wing. So there is nothing else but nature in this package, right? So it's the wing. We dehydrate it at 160 Fahrenheit, 165 Fahrenheit for at least 24 hours. So it's completely dry. As I mentioned, there's barely any meat on them, so we don't need to do anything else to it. There's no chemicals, nothing. It's nature, right? When the bird has its bad day here on the farm, this is when your cat and dog will be happy because they get something to play with. It's real feathers. It's made in the United States. My daughter had the idea. She has cats and she saw that I throw them out. And she said, hold on a second. Why are you throwing that away? I can play with my cat. I put the string around it. So we use a natural string there. You see it there? Tie it nicely on the... We do that already for you. We tie it nicely on the wing. The string is long enough so you can play really nice with your pet. And if you click on the description and the product description below, there's a video a friend of mine made with his cat where we play. Cat goes bananas, I tell you. And after you're done playing, a little food doesn't hurt, right? We also sell those wings in bulk as a pair of one, a pair of two. I think they are sold out right now. But because people use those wings also, I mean, quail are native to the United States. They are game bird, as I mentioned, and there is some hunters out there amongst you who want to train their puppy, their dog, to become a bird dog, a dog who is chasing down quail, right? So that's a good training tool as well for your dog. Definitely a very rewarding thing. And for us as farmers, it's important that nothing of those birds get wasted because we respect their lives and we want to make sure that we not just keep them for eggs. We want them for everything nature offers us and that their life has a purpose, right? And nothing is being thrown away. Not even the poop. We use that in our organic garden. We don't buy fertilizer. Maybe every once in a while, my wife sometimes for indoor plant, sometimes she buys something. I can't prevent her. But for that, we actually have something also for if you need extra calcium for your plants, also in our store. Guess what we use for that, for extra calcium? We use the eggshells. Because there's some breakage sometimes on our farm. But we don't throw out those eggshells either. We make a product out of it. Now, speaking about treating those birds good, birds want to eat well as well. So one of our farmers, his name is Kerry. He's out of Alabama. He came up with something special because, as you saw all the lovely colors early on, there is virtual shows and in-person shows where you can show off your birds, your lovely rooster, your lovely hen, right? And that's for chicken, for ducks, for quail. It becomes more popular. So if you want to treat your quail really nice, when you decided, okay, I want to hatch quail, I want to treat them nice, I want to show them off a bit, I want that their feathers look extra great. Showbro is your friend. This is the small package here, just for me. It's easier to lift around here in my little studio, in my office here. But it actually comes as a 10-pound bag because quail, they like to eat a lot, right? It's about, if you look about the standard food for a quail, an adult quail per day for a jumbo is about 2 ounces, right? The Showpro here, that's a supplement to the normal food. Has a lot of protein in there. There's extra calcium in there. There's lysine in there. There's cysteine in there. There is some stuff in there what men like me, middle-aged man. Oh, God. Am I middle-aged? I'm 45. I don't know. Anyway, there's a product in there which is human grade, which gives you nice, full hair. I don't use that product, but anyway, it's in here as well for your birds, so making their feathers nicer. Very, very interesting. A lot of vitamins in there. Just click on the product description. It tells you exactly what is in there. Comes in a 10-pound bag. I think Carrie puts a little scooper in there as well. That's what he sent me. So you add like a teaspoon, if I'm right, or is it tablespoon? Says it on the directions here. Tablespoon per bird to their food, and then they are ready for the big show day. Of course, do that a few days ahead of time. But you can use it year round, right? To have even healthier birds. So that is a good point of talking about again our network a little bit, right? We try to buy from local feed mills if possible, right? So we try to support the local community. We do educational programs. If we speak about teaching children how to hatch birds what is the life cycle of a bird. I mean, you know, uh, I have kids. You watching might be a kid or have kids, right? You probably you see birds all day long, and the quail is a game bird. So we can educate people on like how do they live in the wild, because they are native to the U.S. but also to many other regions of this world, pretty much everywhere. Not every continent, but they are around, and it's great to teach children about birds. How does that stuff happen, right? I'm not here to talk about the bees and the birds. Ask your mother or father if you're watching. But the birds, they give me a lot of pleasure. It started off as a great hobby, and I loved it so much. Yeah, it's my business now. And many people out there watching, they have it as a side hustle. I mean, with the egg prices nowadays, not that we didn't raise our prices, but it's nice to see there's a bit extra demand now. I have to be honest. We're gonna be busy tomorrow shipping all those lovely eggs out, and that's great. And we thank you very much for that. But I come back to my lovely birds. Let's speak about them a little bit more. How do they live, right? So I show you a product. We work with also a family-run company. I just recently had the pleasure of putting one of that grow-out cages from Hatching Time together. And you see here, that's in my living room because it was still cold winter a couple of weeks ago. I needed extra space now for the spring season, growing my quail setup as well here on the farm. And this is a grow-out cage, which is really great for, these little tiny birds you saw early on. From the age they are born until they start laying eggs, that's where they are kept. This grow-out cage comes in different configuration and tiers, right? This I use the full 5 tiers on my farm. Here you see 4 right now. The other part, I forgot to put that in the image. Who cares? You see, it's a modular setup. So you can have 2 tiers, 3 tier, 4 tier, 1 tier. They have single compartments if you really just want to have a couple of birds. State of the art, it doesn't rust, right? It's easy to clean. And that's where we keep our birds, because otherwise they would just fly off, right? We don't want them to fly off. Now with predators looking after birds, I had issues in my years of having quail. I had a natural setup outside, an aviary. Unfortunately, the fox thought it's a great place to dig a tunnel under and get some quail. So I have now an indoor setup for the winter time because I don't want that the water freezes. You can have a quail tractor, you can have all kinds of setup, but in our case, since we need to produce a lot of eggs and meat, we keep them in the state-of-the-art equipment here from Hatching Time. And they have a great life in there. It's safe for them. It's not too high. They have the same stuff for chickens. Just saying. I mean, I'm not against chicken. I used to keep chicken, right? I love chicken. But this is specific for quail. But the ones for chicken, they are just a little higher. So they live in these grow-out cages. If they are babies, there is here on this side a heating element goes in. That's safe. I used to be a firefighter, so I know about fire safety, a few things here and there. Because if you do the brooding, first you do the incubation, then you do the brooding. That means you keep them in a brooder setup here, right? Before you move them over in a layer setup, right? This is how I assemble the layer setup. Let's have a look at that too. But just finishing this thought about the brooding. So when you do the incubation with the 99.5 Fahrenheit for about 18 to 20 days until the babies hatch, they are used to have it warm. They want to stay warm, at least for the first 2 weeks. So this is when they go into the grow-out cage, right? After that, when they're old enough, they go into a layer cage. And you see here the difference already. The layer cage has something sticking out there. Let's fast forward here a little until we see it built. Ooh, I was quick there. Now the 5 tier took me with some breaks, coffee break in between, I think it took me 2 hours, and I'm not really. I always like to say I have two left hands, as I do things with both hands as well. I don't really have a dominant hand, I guess. Maybe the right one, not sure. You see here, there is the layer rollouts, right? On the layer cage, that's very different feature than from the grow out. That's where the lovely eggs come out without poop on them, right? It's very spacious. Comes then with the water setup and all the good things around it. That's why I love using this product. I don't have to build anything myself. Like I don't have to cut wood. I don't have to deal with metal, which rusts. I don't have to come up with ideas for my own water system, which freezes then if I keep it outside. I keep that stuff inside. I have a nice setup. You can have it in a barn. You can have it in a garage. I would not recommend it in your living room, as you see here, because quail do poop and stink a little, right? But it's really, really state-of-the-art equipment and provides a great habitat, a great environment for your birds. And there is no wrong way, right? As long as you keep your birds safe, that they always have food, they always have water, that they are not like in extreme freezing temperatures, because if you want to have the eggs, you don't want that they freeze up, right? And you don't want that the water freezes up, right? So certain environmental things you need to keep in mind. So protect them from predators, food, water, a little bit of heat that your water system doesn't freeze up. And there's different ways to do that. Then you're ready to go to keep quail, right? If you want to have it a bit easier way, like I do, comfortable way, you get this in a big box, right? And then you just need to assemble it. Even if you're not very talented like I am, I think my 14-year-old daughter would do a better job with assembling that thing than me, but I managed. And so choose what size setup you want to have. This 5-tier holds about 75 quail. If you have them in breeding groups, if you want to have fertile eggs, right? And there's poop trays then and all that good stuff. And this way you can keep those birds really, really comfortable. And they pay you back, right? You pay them with food, some love and water and a nice housing, and they pay you back with eggs. And they have a lovely little sound as well. You heard the chicks early on. Since some new people joined in, why don't we have a quick look again at the chicks? And if you have questions, pop them in the comments here below. Let's take a look here. That's my mobile view. Let's rewind that and let's have a look. So that's the inside view of a grow out cage where there's actually the heating elements. So that's the brooding cage set up there. Let's see.
Now, everybody happy in your new home? Yeah? Aren't you cute? Get more food soon. We got quail people. They lay eggs. These little chicks lay eggs in about 6 to 8 weeks. Not like chickens will take forever to start laying eggs.
Did you hear that little, I would call it a distress call? Like, it's a wild bird, right? So there was one quail giving off an alarm, and all the others reacted to it, right? So, wow, I look at the time and it's nearly an hour over. Nearly an hour since I'm live. That's amazing. And we already had a time jump today by an hour, right? Let's recap what I talked about this hour, and then I gonna go and feed my birds. So let's have a look. We talked about our fresh quail eggs. So if you're not into keeping quail yourself, you can still enjoy the goodies by ordering our fresh quail eggs here on the farm, right? What we ship to you fresh to your doorstep. They are gonna be probably fresher than any eggs you can buy in the supermarket, because they are laid here on our farms here in the United States, right? We are in 14 locations in 10 different states, so we're very close to you. And they come to you right after they are laid, right? if they're older than 72 hours, you know what we do with them, right? No, we are not using the quail egg cutter to cut them open and have breakfast. Yeah, maybe sometimes we eat them ourselves, of course. You saw my dog Hazel early on. She got one for dinner now. What we do with them, we can make hollow, empty quail eggs out of that for decoration. Or we use one of these new designed, and we are just launching that product, so you find it now in our store. I know the delivery time is a little out right now, but if you want to pre-order them, because they are limited edition, right? They come in 3 different colors. We kept the price as much down as we could with shipping and all that stuff, right? So made also in the US. This thing is not coming from China. This is made here, right over there. I look at it. It's not dishwasher safe, because I labeled it not dishwasher safe for a simple reason. It's so small. You're gonna lose that in your dishwasher. You don't want to lose it in your dishwasher. Therefore, not dishwasher safe. This metal one, yeah, sure, it's bigger. The one for the, I don't sell that one for the chicken, but just a little comparison. Isn't it cute if you're into tiny cooking? Again, think about that. If you wanna display your, if you have quail yourself and you wanna display somewhere your nicest quail egg, use that. Comes in 3 different colors. You can choose what you like. There's 4 in the pack, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. And so it's for the whole family. Just order as many you need. Our Undique blue, a black color, and the white one you saw. So that's what we looked at today. Then your hatching eggs, right? We talked a lot about it. If you want to get out of those eggs, lovely birds. With shipped eggs, the hatch rate varies. We therefore cannot give a hatch rate guarantee, because we also don't know about your experience, your equipment, and so on. I always like to say, listen, if I buy eggs in the store and I bake a cake with it, and the cake doesn't turn out the way I like it, do I go back to the store to ask for new eggs? Or do I look into it and see maybe I did something wrong? Maybe I didn't follow the recipe. Could be, right? And sometimes it can be that you did everything right, but the air sacs got damaged in shipping. That's a risk you take when you order them. We can't give you a guarantee on that. If you get out of 12 eggs, 12 babies, or 10, or 9, or 0. If you bake them too hot, right? Then you actually boil the egg. Then there is definitely not gonna a chick develop in there, right? Just saying. There's barely anybody out there who gives a hatch rate guarantee. We know our eggs are fertile because we hatch them all the time. You have seen the footage of these little chicks. They are not coming from somewhere. They come out of those eggs, right? We have great hatch rates here locally, but we know, everybody in the industry knows, shipped eggs, it's a bit of a risk. And the hatch rates are usually a little lower than local. If you find your eggs local, okay. But here at Amazon, this is what you get from us. This is the we can give you expert advice. That's why we make those lives. If you have questions, you know, click on the store page. There's our contact details. You can say request seller messaging. Boom, you send me a message here on Amazon. I answer all your questions, no problem. If the eggs are too old for shipping, because we like to give you the freshest eggs for hatching, but also for the fresh eggs, right? Then this guy is being made out of the whole quail egg food topper. Freeze-dried quail eggs, a whole pack of 12 in there. You sprinkle it on top of the food of your animals, right? Your pet, your dog, and they will thank you. I say it's like the extra parmesan on the spaghetti. It gives your normal pet food an extra kick, extra vitamins, great enrichment. And if you want to do playtime after, the wing on the string, very popular product what we have, all natural. There's no chemicals, no salt to conserve it, just hot air. I spoke a lot of hot air now as well, I guess, this last hour. No, I hope you learned something from our little life here. Leave a like and follow, right? We talked a little bit about the nutrition. You know, the lovely gentleman here who designed this product and is part of our network, he thought a lot about it. He talked to nutritionists, he talked to breeders, he's a breeder himself, he talked to a ton of people, and he came up with this mixture. and it comes in a 10-pound bag, right? Straight from his farm, fresh from his warehouse, not directly from the farm. Biosecurity is important. I want to just set that right. Then we talked about the cooperation we have with Hatching Time, and that's why I like to show their products here as well. They are down in Delaware. Also a family-run company here. I think it's two families, and of course all their workers and all the lovely people there at Hatching Time, and they bring to you the state-of-the-art equipment, right? The breeding, the brooder, the grower cage, up till to the layer cage, right? Great equipment. We use it on our farm as well. Okay, that our hour is nearly over. I am live again on Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern, and as well I'm gonna be next Sunday here at 7 p.m. Eastern. I wish you a great start into your week. I hope you had some fun watching me live today, talking about all the lovely products we bring to you from our quail farms to your kitchen or incubator, right? Thanks for your time, and yeah, have a good rest of your evening, and see you soon. Bye bye.